Yes, because I'll have to get 4 for you too. Yeah.
And what was your shades? Dark shades? Because you can't have it in the day, right? And if you wash your hair, when you're washing your hair, you can clean and wash your face and keep your eye closed because you don't want it so good in the area and this and work off your eye. You can watch television and then you keep your eyes a bit clean. So you don't feel like that's the little stuff of branding. Especially if your eyes are clean. And then if you know about the liquid diet, if you eat your diet, according to what you can hypertension, or high blood pressure, whatever, right? Then you must follow all the instructions that you see if you want. But your eye drops, so you have to know when you say family members, what to have for your eye drops. I try to take things that come here, as I told you about tomorrow morning, you have to come back, right? And bring all the medication every time you have to come back.
Today we're going to start our program, and so we will start with the National Anthem. So can we all stand? And I will try and start, and hopefully somebody will sing along. Forged from the love of liberty in the fires of hope and prayer, with boundless faith in our destiny, we solemnly declare. Side by side we stand, islands of the blue Caribbean Sea, this our native land. We pledge our lives to thee. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation. Please remain theatre nurse manager Sid Robley Lewis to come and lead us in prayer.
Morning, everyone. Can we bow our heads, please? Heavenly Father, we thank you for today. Father, as we gather today to celebrate the commencement of the Cataract project, we seek your peace and guidance. May your goodness and love be present amongst us today. We ask for your guidance as we collaborate to achieve success in this undertaking, spearheaded by our CEO, Mrs. Gail Miller-Mead. Bless the surgeons, nurses, attendants, and all other stakeholders. Let unity, hope, and realization of the vision rest and abide within each of us. Build in us all a deep respect for each other and help us to remember the contributions made towards the success of this project. Please stir your hope and faith within the hearts of our patients who have been waiting for this day and this opportunity. Lord, let your guiding light fill our lives as we seek to provide quality health care for the patients who put their trust in us. And may you continue to bless us with the wisdom and vision for future projects as we endeavor to enhance the lives of our citizens in this region. We ask all this in the glorious name of Jesus. Amen.
Me, I'm the CEO of the Southwest RG, and I would like to welcome you to our Cataract initiative. Based on, so just to do the salutations, the Honorable Minister of Health, Mr. Terence Dialsing, Ms. Valerie Allen Rollins, our Deputy Chair, Dr. Pravin Ramata, Medical Director, Secondary Care Services, Dr. Anil Amugam, Head of Ophthalmology, Ms. Michelle St. John, our Hospital Administrator, Manager, Hospital Administration, Mrs. Sid Robley Lewis, our Theatre Manager, Mr. Roy Umro, Regional Manager, Pharmacy Services, Mr. Cecilia Marcus, Head Nurse of Miss Cecilia Marcus, Head Nurse of Eye Theatre, dedicated staff of the Eye Theatre and Eye Ward, other key SWARA support staff, biomedical, quality. I think those are the ones that are here. Our distinguished clients, and we have 3 patients who are here with us who had actually had their surgery this morning. Miss Beulah Thompson, Miss Evelyn Thompson, and Mr. Budu Ramsahai. Our distinguished clients, the patients, members of the media, distinguished guests. So my role is really as the coordinator to welcome you to this initiative. This is an initiative that was started by the minister sometime last year, and he asked all the RHAs, because it's a national initiative, all the RHAs whether we would take up this initiative of having a cataract month dedicated to reducing the waiting list for cataracts. And so this is the launch of the month, but please note that all the RHAs are on board, and all the RHAs are really looking to reduce the waiting list across the country. And so to open, we would ask Dr. Anil Ramugam, who is the head of ophthalmology, to do a short presentation for us as to what this surgery is all about. And I will ask the minister to just, if you could have a seat in the front so that we could have.
Hi, good morning. The Honorable Terence Dialsing, Minister of Health, Mrs. Gail Millermead, Chief Executive Officer, Dr. Pravin Ramuta, Medical Director, Secondary Care Services, Ms. Michelle St. John, Manager, Hospital Administration, Ms. Sid Robley Lewis, Theatre Manager, Mr. Roy Umrao, Regional Manager of Pharmacy Services, all the dedicated eye staff in the theatre, wards and clinics, other SWRHA support staff, our distinguished clients, the patients, as well as the media. Welcome and good morning. And I would like this presentation to provide an overview, some insight into what we do here at the Ophthalmology Department at the Southwest Regional Health Authority, affectionately called as SWARA. And I was told to do a presentation. I wasn't told to keep it short, but I will do my best so that we can get on with other things on our Sunday. So the Ophthalmology Department follows the mission and vision statement of SWARA. And just quickly, SWARA is in the business of promoting wellness and providing cost-effective customer-focused healthcare to the people of the Southwest region within the guidelines of the national policy. The vision statement is to be a dynamic, people-focused organization providing comprehensive quality healthcare through inspired and dedicated teams satisfying the needs and aspirations of all stakeholders in a safe and healthy environment. And this morning's venture is a clear example of this vision statement. But of course, SWARO also has a patient's charter of rights and obligations, and I won't spend time going through these, but there are basic rights for the patient, including good access to treatment, respect, privacy, and other items. So it's a long list, and it's on the SWARO website. Now, there are some patient's obligations, and I wanted to touch on this because this is very important. And the patient is obligated to supply accurate information and feedback to the healthcare providers to comply with instructions, and they are also responsible for themselves should they refuse any type of treatment, and observing the facility regulations and showing respect and consideration for other patients and personnel attached to SWARO. And one thing that came out of this morning's venture is that there were a few cancellations on our list. However, it was due really to patient factors, uncontrolled hypertension, uncontrolled diabetes. So we have to find a mechanism to reinforce patient care and the importance of compliance. So our ophthalmology department, this is an overview. We are based at the San Fernando General Hospital. It is a surgical subspecialty department, and we have a satellite clinic that presently happens at the Princestown District Health Facility, where we manage chronic and stable patients, for example, glaucoma patients who are quite stable on medications. We are also affiliated with the Diabetic Retinal Screening Program of TT, of Trinidad and Tobago, DRS-TT, and they currently have 3 screening centers based at Princestown District Health Facility, Siparia, and the Couva District Health Facilities. Our staffing comprises 23 medical officers. There are 4 specialist medical officers, or SMOs, 1 registrar who currently functions as an SMO, creating a total of 5 SMO-led units. 18 house officers are divided among acting registrar positions. So each SMO has his own registrar, as I would come to in a later slide. And the other house officers do the day-to-day runnings within the clinic and wards. So this is a unit. It's sometimes good to outline how we are structured. There's an SMO, a registrar attached to this SMO, and 2 or 3 house officers. And 4 to 5 officers comprise 1 unit. 1 unit is focused on pediatric and strabismus, but also does general ophthalmology. The other unit, which is fairly new, focuses on cornea and corneal services and external eye disease. And the other 3 practice general or comprehensive ophthalmology. And we offer a wide variety of services. In fact, we are spread across the entire spectrum of common ocular conditions that require treatment. So the number 1 condition, one of the everyday type of services we provide, is dealing with emergency ophthalmic conditions, comprising mainly of minor and major ocular trauma. And this is our day-to-day type of patient that we see coming through the casualty department and being referred onward to the eye services. One challenge that we have currently is the absence of a oromaxillofacial surgeon. So patients having severe trauma involving bony injury to the orbit, we are sometimes in a dilemma as to how to manage these patients. We have adnexal and lid or oculoplastics, where we do minor procedures like lid procedures. Anything else we refer to the North Central RHA, where there's currently an oculoplastic surgeon. Cataract services, well, we'll talk a lot about that shortly. But all 5 units manage cataract patients. And our cataract patients do represent a high number of clinic referrals that we see on a daily basis. There's no specific glaucoma unit, but all consultants are able to manage glaucoma. Cornea and external diseases was recently started, and I'd like to point out that just a couple of weeks ago, we had the first fully funded corneal graft done at the Southwest Regional Health Authority at no cost to the patient. Everything was done in-house. Okay. The Pediatric and Strabismus service was started about 4 to 5 years ago, and we now act as a tertiary referral center, seeing most of these pediatric cases referred in from the rest of the country. So we manage strabismus, or squint, or crossed-eye patients. We manage their cataracts, some types of glaucoma, any inflammation in the eye, and quite notably, we also screen for a condition termed retinopathy of prematurity. As far as I know, we are the only RHA that does so. And from our pickup rate of this severe and debilitating condition detected in preterm infants, we think that there is a need for this to be introduced in the other RHAs. We also look at any eye conditions that may be the result of Zika-positive infants. Our oncology cases are referred onwards to either the adult services attached to the San Fernando General or to the pediatric oncology services at Mount Hope. Vitreoretinal services was ceased about 18 months ago until the last month, where we introduced a sessional external surgeon that comes in to assist us with these cases. We are currently in the process of getting a full-time vitreoretinal surgeon. We have a full array of laser machines where we handle diabetic retinopathy, other retina conditions, certain types of post-cataract complications like posterior capsular opacities, and different types of lasers for glaucoma treatment. The diabetic screening is done by all units, but we are affiliated with the DRSTT. So they refer patients to our department who they think need further treatment, and we refer patients to them to continue monitoring diabetic patients who, as of that time, do not show any evidence of retinal problems. Our optometry section has not been started. That is in the process, but we do enjoy optometry students that rotate through our departments, and we really get them involved, and they help us a lot by doing refractions and other simple tests on the eye. So this is what a patient experiences when they are sent to our clinic. The patient presents to the clinic with a referral letter, usually from another clinic or an optometrist or their GP. The patient comes with a letter to the clinic on any day. The letter is reviewed by a senior doctor after the vision is checked by one of the nurses in the clinic. So the letters are seen, the doctor assesses what is written on the letter, looks at the vision, and then determines when is appropriate, or when it is appropriate for the patient to then return to the clinic and have a full assessment. And this time varies from immediate assessment on this very day to approximately 3 months after. And this is well in keeping with UK guidelines, which clearly state that all patients should access eye care within 18 weeks. So the letter assessed, the appointment is given, patient returns. On that day, they have a full history and examination done by a senior doctor again, and they are either discharged or management started. And they are then put on a list, for example, cataract surgery, or they are managed otherwise. Now I'd like to point out that this system applies to Swara, and I'm aware that it doesn't apply to some of the other regions. And I think it is because of this system where we assess the letters so quickly and then put patients for appropriate management. And if it is a cataract, they are given a date for cataract. At that time, that inflates our waiting list. But I think that we need to have some sort of system where the letters are triaged by a medical person and not a non-medical person, because that has sometimes led to urgent conditions or conditions requiring very urgent treatment being missed, and patients show up later with irreversible vision loss. So these are our clinic statistics. That's a busy slide, but I'll just show you the important points. Look at this number. From 2013 to 2016, in about 3 to 4 years, the number of new patients accessing our clinic services increased by 80%. And look at the numbers themselves, the numbers also came up. So we went from about 32,000 up to 40,000 in 2016, and it's steadily increasing. So that is up almost 25%. And this number accounts for 17 or almost 18% of all patients accessing all clinics within San Fernando General Hospital. So think about that for a second. That is about 1 in 6 outpatient patients within this hospital coming to the eye clinic. And that is a lot. So cataract problems is one of the big issues that we have to deal with. Now, cataracts represents about 50% of blindness worldwide, according to the World Health Organization surveys, or about 16 million people. So, of course, in Trinidad, it represents a significant number of our referrals or patients coming through our emergency systems. If we look at the cataract numbers done over the past few years, they're about average, and then they peaked in 2013, went down and came up a little bit again, went down. But this is a significant number of cataracts done per year. And the reason for the fluctuations is really a number of factors. We've been having to deal with air conditioning problems, poorly functioning equipment, instruments that have passed their lifetime, poor forecasting and restocking of consumables, and some pharmaceutical problems like absence of lidocaine and some anesthetic adjuncts. So that is why I was heartened for this particular program, because all stakeholders got together, and within 2 to 3 weeks, we were able to solve all of these problems that cause the fluctuations. So I think from 2018 onwards, we should see these numbers going up and remaining steady. And that is my hope. So I'd like to thank the Honorable Minister for coming up with the idea of a cataract initiative, and also thank our CEO and our Medical Director of Secondary Services for helping implement this program. We've compiled a list that originally stood out at 2,400 patients, but having some assistance from our quality department in sanitizing the list, it is currently down to about 1,800 patients. But I have seen the list, and the list still includes a number of minor cases that are not actually cataract surgeries being required. So it's even less than this. And the hope is that our team, once provided with the necessary tools and consumables, would be able to perform about 450 cases per month. And the number takes into consideration that we do run other services and we do other types of surgery here, particularly vitreoretinal, pediatric, and corneal, as well as glaucoma surgeries. So now, our department, given the correct tools and consumables, would be able to run at full capacity with all the staff and clear this backlog over approximately 4 to 6 months. And this is the initial case done this morning, just to give you an idea of what happens. And we've got the surgeon and the scrub tech and all the nice new instruments and all the consumables, and we've got things going. We had a really good experience this morning. So where are we now? Our services at Saguaro are expanding rapidly. We have a number of subspecialties within the eye department, not only general ophthalmology, and we are a tertiary referral center for pediatric, vitreoretinal, and now corneal. Now, what's the problem? We currently share the same clinic space that we've been doing for the past number of years with the ENT department. Because of this, we are forced to utilize only 3 days of the week to do our clinics. So on some days, we have 2 clinics, one in the morning, one in the afternoon by each SMO, and there are hundreds of patients seen. I would like to see something done about this, and we've had things in the pipeline to split the clinics. But with our increase in services, I think it's something that we really seriously need to look at. And of course, have good support staffing to run this clinic. Dedicated clinic space and staff needed. You know, to think large, I think we have to look in the future of getting eventually an ophthalmology wing, because we do serve a large catchment area. The Southwest region comprises roughly, that's the figure I was given, about 650,000 people, including extra regional referrals. So in addition to our patients, we see patients from Eastern, North Central, Northwest, even Tobago, accessing our services here. What will also help is to not keep everything confined within San Fernando General, but to have satellite clinics, as we've started with Princestown, where we could manage the chronic cases and only refer to our center here at San Fernando for more serious conditions that may require surgery, etc. And we do need staff to run these things. I would like to recognize our head nurses. And over my time as head of department, they have been the go-to people for any issues within the department. And I must say that they've really done well, and they've solved lots of problems, and that is why we are where we are today. And with that, I've come to the end of my presentation. Thanks for your attention. And any questions?
So we want to thank Dr. Amugam for his presentation. It's very enlightening as to the quantity and quality of work that is happening at our ophthalmology department. So let's give him a round of applause again, please. And we now have a testimonial. We will ask one of our patients to come.
Let me speak again.
All right, so the minister says that he will speak first, so I will now invite our honorable minister, Mr. Terence Dialsing, to address us.
Thank you very much. We'll save the best for last. That is our patience. So good morning, all. So around October or November of 2017, I challenged all the RHAs to let's have a period of time dedicated to eliminating the backlog for cataract surgeries. It's a national initiative. So let me give you a breakdown of some of the numbers, where we were, where we are, and where we want to be. So nationally, we had 4,308 people waiting for cataract surgeries across 5 RHAs. In North Central, the waiting list was 770. In Eastern, it was 700. In Northwest, it was 368. In Southwest, where we are today, 2,400. And in Tobago, it was 70. So totally, across 5 RHAs, you had 4,308 persons waiting for cataract surgeries. I found this to be a situation which I did not like. Because I would say, if this was my mother or my father who did not have the wherewithal to go to the private sector to pay for it, as my parents did when they had to do it. But I have to put myself in the position of the average Trinidadian and average Tobagonian who can't afford to go to the private sector. So in challenging the RHAs to a cataract initiative, I could tell you we have now cleared 1,072 of that. So our waiting list is now down from 4,308 to 3,236. So we have cleared off 1,072 of those patients. If we continue with the rate of clearance, it's going to take us about 3 to 6 months to clear the backlog across the RHAs. Some RHAs will clear it faster than others. So for instance, North Central will clear their backlog by May of this year, which is just about 2 or 3 months away. Eastern will clear it by December. Northwest will clear it by May. Southwest will clear it by August, and Tobago by June. That is if we continue along the same path. But we are not going to continue along the same path. So what are we going to do? In North Central, when they clear theirs by May, we will then take some patients from South, send them up to North Central, so we can clear up the South backlog faster. What we are also doing, as Dr. Armugam will have said, we need more equipment. So I am working to get, as he will know it, 4 new, what we call phaco machines, and 2 new microscopes within a few months. That will help us now not only clear the backlog, but to make sure that a new backlog doesn't start after we have cleared it. Because initiatives in the past, you clear backlog, but you don't fix the underlying problems. So when you clear the backlog, what happens is that a new backlog starts. So we want to make sure a new backlog doesn't start. So it's a mixture of having more equipment, more people, and what we will do, some of these new machines will now go down to Point Fortin. So you now have in South 2 centers, San Fernando and Point Fortin, doing cataract surgeries. So this is the grand plan to clear cataract surgeries. I really want to thank all the stakeholders, all the internal stakeholders, Dr. Armugam, his team, the pharmacy team, the nurses, because one of the biggest problems in turning around the health sector in Trinidad and Tobago is not only equipment, it's not only money. You know what the biggest challenges, and people are now rising up to that challenge? What we call culture change. I see people in the back saying yes. Culture change and getting people to buy into a vision. You would have heard Dr. David Chen, when we were speaking at Eric Williams a few months ago, said he has been waiting 20 years for culture change. Well, culture change is here. And that is the biggest improvement. A culture where people are empowered and feel proud to come to work every day to do their jobs. And for that, we have to thank all the doctors, all the specialists, all the nurses, the pharmacist who is getting the supplies from C40. I have to thank the Chief Medical Officer and C40 as we smooth out the supply issues. So this morning is a morning of celebration. It's a morning of congratulations. It's a morning where we have 3 people, 3 testimonials, 3 people who have received their surgeries this morning as part of this initiative, and you'll be hearing from them, I suppose, how good they feel to receive these surgeries free of charge. And for the future patients who don't have to wait 2 and 3 years in the public sector, but could get their surgeries done in a reasonable time frame. So I really want to close by saying thank you, thank you, thank you to Dr. Armugam, the CEO, and everybody who are now buying into this culture change across the RHAs. So folks, I will just close with the figures once again. The national initiative, we had a backlog of 4,308. We have now cleared 1,072. But we are going to be working within the next 3 to 6 months to clear the backlog entirely. But with the introduction of more equipment, more sites dedicated to cataract surgeries, it is my objective and our objective that once we clear this backlog, a new backlog doesn't develop. Because I want all these people to receive their surgeries just like my parents did. Okay? Thank you very much. No, we're not going to ask them.
Yes, hello. Hi. You'd like to find out about your experience this morning when you had your cataract surgery? So would you like to state your name and...
My name is Bella Thompson.
Right, Ms. Thompson?
Yes, I was glad to have this surgery this morning. Well, my eyes have been giving me trouble. So when I came clinic Friday and they tell me to be prepared for Sunday, I was like, already? Already.
So you were happy?
So with that I said, well, okay, I have to make sure I keep the pressure down, keep the sugar down, because I want it, right? And coming here now and getting it, but the doctors were very nice. They explain everything. They explain everything that they're going to do. You're going to feel this. You're going to, I will have to massage your eyes. How you feeling? Everything was just good. So I'm very thankful.
Good.
Billy, before the operation, tell us your condition. What was your experience like before the surgery?
Well, before the surgery, it was just the dimming in the eyes, and you're always with the glasses. You cannot, if I rested down there and I move here, I had to walk back and get it back on. So it was kind of hard. It was kind of hard.
Short-sighted, long-sighted, how were you?
Short-sighted.
But how were you able to get along with your normal day-to-day routine? How were you making out people's faces, being able to see the television? How was that before the surgery?
The television, well, I used to watch my little television and thing, but it was with the glasses. Other than that, nothing.
I pretended to be up too. I got like this. So you want to tell us your name?
My name is Evelyn Thompson.
And where are you from?
I live at Pepper Village, Fiservad.
Lovely. And you want to tell us about your experience this morning?
Right, with this cataract surgery, I used to go by Dr. Williams to test my eyes and whatnot. And then one day he told me, you know, you have a cataract. And I him, where's a cataract?
You told us something good.
He says some little deficiency will keep you back from seeing properly, right, and you have to take it out and whatnot. But it took me years, because he said it was small to build up like this. And after he died, the next girl who used to work there with him, I went back because I always changing the glasses, changing the glasses. She said, you know, you have a cataract. I said, well, Dr. Williams told me that, but I'm still seeing. But I really wasn't seeing properly. But I just keep going and changing the glasses and things. And then one time I went, it gets so bad. I said, you know what I could do? She said, you know what? I will send you in the hospital. Good. And I went to the hospital. I get about 2 visits in the hospital. They tell me it's not ready yet. When it did ready, I go on and they just like that. They say a cataract, God, you know, next 2 weeks you have to come and do it. Right. I say, quick, just so. I said, no. I don't like how it's going, you know.
Too fast. Your service is too good.
Yeah. I said, I don't think I want that right now, you know. The doctor told me, well, I can't tell you take it, don't take it because this is you. It's up to you. I said, so we'll give me a little chance now. They don't put all kind of thing in the eyes and everything, you know. I said, give me a little chance now and give me a date and I'll come back. And I've gone back. I said, Evelyn is a big old man. The people tell you the eye bad and you're trying to get it and you still don't want it. Because I have a friend quite in Toko tell me she paid $12,000. So when she told me so, I said, Bules, you pay all of that? Well, I couldn't get mine free. And I went and I do it. That is about 9 months now. Then when I do it now, they tell me I have a next.
Right.
I say again, I say, okay. Well, I keep keeping up with the coming to clinic. They say when it's available, they will tell me. Well, they did tell me. I say, you know what? I think I better take this thing, you know, this thing going too long. I say, okay, doc, I will take it.
You ready?
No, I take it, but I come and get red eye. I get all kind of things because, like, I don't know nothing much about this thing, so I careless with it. They give me a list. Don't touch your eye. Do this. Don't do that. Don't go in the heat. Don't cook. And exactly what they tell me, that is what I was doing. Now, I have a daughter is a nurse. She will point up here. When he say, Mommy, I have no time with you, you know. Because you have a big list. Look, it's stick up here. And you're doing this and you're doing that. And I have my work to do. I can't see about you.
So how things went this morning?
Right? But I tell you now with this thing. So, with the red eye, they come to give me the medicine what I was taking for the thing. It had one of the medicine. They say, take that one. And it will clear up.
Okay.
And as it clear up, they say, okay, surgery for you.
Good.
They put the date for the 2nd. Was the 2nd?
Today's the 4th.
Right. I say, okay, I'll go in. When I come to get it and everything, I say, okay, Lord, you know, you is the master. I take it, don't care what come today, I taking it. And I take it. I decide I'll take it.
Well done, well done.
But when I come to clinic this morning now, some little messed up, and I realized like I wasn't going to get it with, it was supposed to be this side, and they have it this side. But the first time when I went to get it, the paper went on this side, and they're telling me no, on the book is that side. I say, well, all they find out good, what are they doing with me?
Yeah, so they do the right.
Right? So they did it there.
Right.
So when I come this morning now, I still have to go and sign to make sure it's this side.
Good.
But, and it was so good when I come. The workers that I meet this morning
they're all good.
Was so good. The young woman who came into the office, the theater, her hands were so warm. And I tell her, I cold. And I telling her, I say, God will bless you, child. Good. I say, because you have a warm hand and you're giving me courage to go and do a tattoo.
Good.
So, Mom, tell me about the surgery. Were you conscious? Were you, because sleep tells us about that. When would you be going on?
No, well, I get a little sedative, but I still know everything what went on.
Okay, good.
Cool and comfortable, I know everything what went on.
And when would you be going home?
Going home? Just now, when I leave here.
Yes, you want to tell us your name, please?
Yeah, I'm Sai Buddha.
How was the experience this morning?
Well, not bad, very good. What happened, I was running about 2 years to get this eye clean, you know, and study getting turned down. Every time I come, they study pressure good, sugar good, and study putting me off. But Wednesday when I went in the clinic, I met a young doctor inside him, and I relate to him that how long I'd come in here, and every time I come here I had to spend about $60, $70 to come here because I ain't working no as a pensioner, and you know, and I ain't well. He tell me, all right, I can go fix me up to get there and thing. So I come and
how was the service
the
this
service
morning?
was real good this morning.
Good.
The doctor was good, the staff and was real friendly and nice. I didn't have no problem.
Okay. So for hearing from the testimonials, you see how people are amazed. One came Friday, got their thing for Sunday. One was amazed that within 2 weeks they could get it. And this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to treat these people like my parents. Because it is unconscionable that people like her, who said, would have to spend $24,000. And she doesn't have to spend that. So when we hear from our customers about the good service, I again really thank everybody, every doctor, every nurse, every pharmacist, everybody who really are buying into this culture change across the RHAs. Where for the first, I am already being brought to tears here. I've started to get a little bit emotional, mainly because the healthcare system in Trinidad and Tobago over the past 2 decades never really put patients first. We always put other interests before the patients. And with this culture change, patients are coming first. I see one nurse is starting to tear up there. You're tearing up? But it's true, eh? And when I hear testimonials like this, where people who don't have the wherewithal to go to the private sector could come to our clinic on a Friday, get the appointment for cataract surgery on a Sunday, it really warms my heart and tells me that we are doing something right. I'm really, really touched. And I think I need to stop talking, because if I continue, I will cry.
It should have been introduced in other allergies, right?
Once he gets the proposal, we'll do that. In the same way we are doing starting compulsory screening for gestational diabetes. What has happened with the healthcare system? As I said, we never put patients first. Now we are putting patients first. So we can't do everything at the same time. Remember, we are now catching up with 20 years of neglect. So some of the key things we are working on, a national program for screening in diabetes for our pregnant population. We do it sporadically. There's going to be a national program because of high incidence of NCDs. You would have heard Dr. Amugam say one of the reasons why some people can't get their cataract surgeries is because of uncontrolled diabetes, uncontrolled hypertension. Before I came to this press conference this morning, I went to the accident and emergency, unannounced visit. And it breaks my heart when I go to all the A&Es and they are overcrowded with people who have uncontrolled diabetes, uncontrolled hypertension, and who don't take their medication. And then they present to us. Yes, as a healthcare center, as a healthcare delivery service, we need more resources. But the population has a role to play in accepting some responsibility for their own health. I mean, when the A&E doctors and nurses tell you how many patients come to their A&Es because they are off their medication, they get their medication free, but they simply don't take it. Take the patient this morning, you give her a list of things to do, and then she does the exact opposite, right? So we all have a role to play. It is not only the government and the state, but the average citizen has a role to play.
So you mentioned as well that you're trying to look out issues of supplies
yes.
and so on. What kind of measures have you taken to do so?
Well,
still have complaints from people about the unavailability of some.
And we are, you would, Radhika, I think you would admit the last 2 years has been the years of least complaints about drugs. Are you willing to admit that?
Not right now, not right now.
But that is the reality, because we are working with all the stakeholders to make sure that drugs and supply come in faster. Let me give you an example. Dr. Amugam spoke about lidocaine. We recently had a shortage of lidocaine. Do you know why? Let me tell you why. So the media could understand what we are faced with. So you give out a tender for lidocaine. The supplier does not fulfill the tender. We then have to fly it in at increased cost because of non-performance by the supplier. That is what we are going to do. But then when you fire the supplier, because a tender has already been awarded, you now have to go back out and do what? Retender. That takes time. So we flew in a few thousand vials of the drug. But what we are now going to build in to this year's tender, any supplier who does not fulfill their end of the bargain and we have to fly in the drug, it is going to be built into the tender that they have to pay that cost. Because you have to hold people accountable. You know how many drug shortages are due to non-performance by the supplier and not the ministry, and not C40 and not NIBDEC. When you analyze the reasons for drug shortages, a lot of it has to do with non-compliance by the supplier. So we are going to get very, very hard with the suppliers.
Minister, you mentioned with the new Cataract initiative that you'll be getting equipment.
Yeah.
What sort of equipment are you referring to?
We are trying to source now 4 new phaco machines. Dr. Amagam could tell you what a phaco machine does, and 2 microscopes to distribute across the RHAs, especially one down in Point Fortin. So we could take some of the burden off from San Fernando and shift some of that to Point Fortin.
How much that is going to cost those?
Well, we are working out those things now. I can't give you a figure now.
All right.
Can you give us an update on the situation at the Point Fortin Hospital?
Which?
We had an issue recently where some workers complained.
Let the CEO deal with that issue. I will not deal with that. That is not my responsibility.
Could you also give us an update on we understand that the Minister of Agriculture
Yes.
had an incident. Could you tell us?
Yes. So I spoke with his wife this morning, and I have the permission of his wife to say what I'm about to say. So yesterday, Senator Avinash Singh was stung by over 100 bees when he was plowing his land. We don't know. He was taken by ambulance in a very quick time to the Shogunas Health Facility where he was stabilized. It turns out that he was allergic to the bites. He was rapidly stabilized there and then transferred to Eric Williams. He is being treated there, and he will be there for another 24 to 48 hours for treatment and observation, but he seems to be out of danger at this point in time. All systems worked, and he never called me for assistance because we have fixed the ambulance service, and he got excellent service at Shogunas, and he was transferred immediately to Eric Williams, and he is being treated very, very well, as our 3 patients here this morning.
Well, Point Fortin was really an industrial matter, a grievance that some of the staff had. So we went down to Point Fortin and we had a meeting with them, and they shared their concerns and certain actions were taken. We are monitoring the situation, but we did take some action, so we are looking at it to see whether they are settled and how things will progress.
I'm not sure if you're aware that a 12-year-old boy was found hanging from a belt and he was taken to Point Fortin Area Hospital at 11:20 on Friday. He died at 5:30 that same day, but he was not taken to the San Fernando General Hospital from Point Fortin. Do you have any information on that?
No, I'm not aware of that, and that is something that I would have to investigate, and we would have to review that situation.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.